If you get a physical wound, maybe at work or something, you have a blue collar job, it's oftentimes not your fault that you got that wound, but it is your responsibility to get it looked at, either have it mended at home, to see a doctor if necessary. Because if you don't have that wound healed, it could get infected. It could maybe turn into something contagious that also impacts the health of other people. People seem to get this. Like, even though it's not my fault I have the physical wound, it's my responsibility to take care of it. But oftentimes, when it comes to emotional wound, those wounds are invisible and hard to see. But so is carbon monoxide, and that's dangerous. So if you have an emotional wound, it's up to you, even though it's not your fault that you got that wound, even though you were wrong, it's still up to you to heal that, either by yourself or maybe seeking a doctor, a spiritual advisor, whatever really works for you. Because I'm not going to sit up here like a therapy is a one stop shop, or a cover all solution for everyone and everything. But oftentimes, something like that, talking to somebody, whether it be a spiritual advisor, a therapist, or whatever, could be helpful. Um, but yeah, maybe sometimes, I don't know, maybe therapy actually isn't the answer sometimes, Because like if you like people have been in therapy for like 10, 15, 20 plus years, and if they're still having the same issues, like there is a question as to, is it actually working? Right? Because like if I hurt my knee and I get physical therapy, if I've been doing physical therapy for 20 years, which there's some cases where you do that, but if I have been doing therapy on my knee, physical therapy for a long time, eventually the doctors might say, "Hey, it's time for surgery." And it's like, do we have to do that mentally? Like if you like it's been 10 years, you still have anxiety, maybe it's lobotomy time, Emily. And that was a real thing. That was actually the solution 100 years ago. Like you'd have a mildly depressed woman and they would definitely do a lobotomy. It's like just a woman with mild autism, and they'd be like, what if we scooped her brains out like rainbow sherbet? You'd think we'd have something in between that and what we have now. Because it's so funny how like extreme it was. Like in the 1920s, you could really just scoop somebody's brain out. And everybody was like, that's fine. Actually, they probably weren't. Because people like to say, oh, it was back in the day, people didn't know. Like, people did know. After the fifth lobotomy, where lady, like after like, yeah, after like the fifth lobotomy, you start looking around and say, wait, they all turn into zombies? Like, maybe we should look into that. I'm shocked they didn't test lobotomies out on rats with like little tools and like a tiny hammer, toot, 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 on the, like, it's kind of like a Frankenstein of Stuart Little type of vibes. But yeah, no, they just went straight to testing lobotomies on schoolgirls. But yeah, I don't know where I was going with that, but it is crazy that like lobotomies were a thing 100 years ago, and now it's kind of like a complete 180. You know, yeah, like back in the day, if you were a depressed lady, they would scoop out your brain like rainbow sherbet. Now they're like, "Oh, you're depressed? Try walking a little more." And you're like, "No, doctor, seriously, I'm really struggling to get out of bed." And they're like, "It's because you're fat." Any woman who has an issue is because they're fat. That's what every doctor, that's what Kaiser Permanente tells you. Or you're pregnant. You can't book an appointment online as a woman with a doctor until you upload a screenshot of your latest pregnancy test. That's like, it's like a captcha, right? You can't actually, and they'll know if you just get like a stock photo from Google Images or Shutterstock. It needs to be authentic, pistic, uploaded to the Kaiser Permanente website so you can book a website because your hobbies aren't fun anymore. Anyways, yeah, that's emotional scars. Get them taken care of. Also, physical health, all that good stuff. Go to the doctor. And if you don't have health care, I don't know, good luck. I don't know. I hope you're Canadian. Anyways, that's it.